What's good, people? Welcome back to another video. I sound like Orca saying that. But anyways, today, if you read the title, I'm gonna discuss dinosaurs that should honestly be in Path of Titans, because there's some dinosaurs that in either mod form or official that just should be in the game. And I actually asked my community a while back to see what they would want to see in the game. So I'm gonna go over those, and I'm gonna go over a couple that I want. Unless you guys have already said what I want, which you'll see, because I have a top 3 that I'll get into at the end of the video that I really want in the game. Because, like, these dinos and creatures are just essential. Also, I'm going to say right now, sorry for the lack of uploads recently. I've been very busy. Life, school, and then work, and a couple other things. Just haven't really had time to edit or post videos. But don't worry, I'm almost done with college classes for the semester, so I'll just have work, so I should be able to stream more and upload more videos. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. If you want to check out my Discord server, I'll link it in the description. And yeah, let's get started. So the first comment I got was from I'm just going to call you Van. And this guy said, one carnivore and one herbivore. For his carnivore pick is actually Albertosaurus. And he wants it to be a bleeder Tyrannosaur. And actually, I like that idea. Because all the Tyrannosaurs in the game currently, in mod form and not, except for maybe Alio, all revolve around fracture or just heavy damage. A Tyrannosaur that bleeds you out would actually be really cool. So, but Albertosaurus is going to come to the game in mod form. I believe DB is making Albertosaurus. I'll have to find an image of that, but I swear DB showed off their Albertosaurus model. Could be something else, but I'm 99% sure it's Albertosaurus. And then this guy said for his herbivore pick, he wants Sauroposeidon, aka Paluxosaurus. And honestly, I 100% agree. We need more sauropods in this game. Where are they? Alderon, make more herbivores. Well, specifically sauropods, please. Like, all we have for official is a Margosaurus, and then there's Camarasaurus, Apatosaurus, and Argent, and Amp, 2 Amps, as modded forms. And I know we're getting a bunch more, but they haven't released yet, and I don't think they're going to release for a long time. There was I think 2 Brachiosaur mods being made. There's another Camarasaurus. There's Diplodocus that's been teased for a while now. DB is making Amphicelius, however you say it, just some giant Jurassic sauropod. There's got to be more being made, but those are the ones I just know of as of right now, and I'm not expecting those to come to the game for a while. So, but we desperately need more sauropods. The next one is from and he has a bias towards Baryonyx. Holy shit, where is Baryonyx? Where is Baryonyx? Actually, any Spinosaurid for that matter. We only have Spino and Suko currently in the game. No modded Spinosaurids, even though we're going to get a bunch of modded Spinosaurus, but no, like, Spinosaurids. I think the only one currently that I know of is Ichthyovenator being made. I forget who's making it, but there is an Ichthyovenator. And it looked pretty cool, but where's Baryonyx? Or Irritator? Or, I don't know, Oxalia? Even though that one's kind of up in the air, if it's valid or not. Kind of like how Saurophaganax and Allosaurus Anax. But, where are the Spinosaurids, man? We don't need 20 different versions of Spinosaurus itself. Give me Baryonyx. Like, please, somebody do it. Alderon or mod team. Please. Next up is Samu Rhino. He said maybe Cenozoic animals like Mammoth and Smilodon. Well, Samu, we already have Smilodon in the game, and it's okay, I guess. It's a solid mod. But Mammoth. Yes! Woolly Mammoth on a snow map would go hard. Cause like we already technically have a Cenozoic in the base game, which is Megalania. So other Cenozoic animals could be plausible, and we already got a couple modded ones, like Andrewsarchus, Kalenkin, the Columbian Mammoth, and then Smilodon. But woolly mammoth itself would be cool. So I'm all for woolly mammoth. I think that'd be a really cool mod. Or official creature if they end up doing mammals. Now my boy Sinister said Saltosaurus and Sauropelta. And honestly, I could see those. We don't have any Nodosaurids at all. I know there's one being worked on. I think it was by PT actually. I think PT showed off some sort of Ankylosaurid or Nodosaurid they were working on. I forget the name, but more Ankylosaurids would be really cool to see in this game. Sauropelta being one because it's got those huge shoulder spikes. It would just be a really cool dino, honestly. And then Saltosaurus. Saltosaurus, I don't know, because we already have 2 amps, and like Ampelosaurus, Saltosaurus was just a smaller sauropod with body armor like an Ankylosaurid. I don't know how that would be too different from Amp, because both amps, I mean the amp that's not DB already kind of looks like a Saltosaurus, but I don't know, it's just, I think a different sauropod would be better, but Sauropelta I 100% agree with. And then one of my top subscribers, Fluffy, says he wants Purosaurus. Honestly, Purosaurus, as cool as it is, we already have Deinosuchus and Sarcosuchus. I just don't know what they would do with it if Alderon or a mod creator made it, because it's a giant caiman. We already have Deinosuchus, which is a giant alligator. 2, actually. 2 mods for Deinosuchus. And then we have Sarco. And then we also have Capro, but Capro's a little different. But for big crocodilians, I don't know what someone would do with that. Either mod form or Alderon. I mean, it'd still be cool to see in the game. I just don't know what they could do with it. But he also says something like Fasolosuchus or Barinosuchus. Those would be cool. And we're already getting Fasolosuchus as a mod. And I believe it's DB that's making it, from my buddy Orca told me. So, but Barinosuchus would be cool too, because it's more like terrestrial. I believe Fasolosuchus was a little semi-aquatic, but Barinosuchus was fully terrestrial. Fasolosuchus was also really big. Oh wait, no, Fasolosuchus was also fully terrestrial. I'm thinking of a different one that was kind of like those land crocs, but was somewhat still semi-aquatic. It wasn't Fasolosuchus, but it was another big one. I just don't remember the name. But both of those would be cool, and I really hope DB does a good job with their Fasolosuchus, because that thing does look pretty cool. And we got Nehiye, I'm just gonna call you Ye. He said Neovenator. Neovenator would be cool. I just don't really know what they would do with it. It's another medium-sized theropod. It's related to Allosaurids. It would probably just be a bleeder. I don't know, actually. It would probably be a bleeder. I just don't know what they do with it to make it stand out from the other similar-sized carnivores. It would either be a mid or a sub-apex, though it wasn't really that big. Well, it was big, but it wasn't, like, huge, if you know what I mean. Nathaniel said Mappu. As a Carcharodontosaurus fanatic, yes. I would love to see Mappusaurus in the game. But, here's where it gets a little repetitive. We already have 2 Gigamods, 1 Carc, Tyrannotitan, and 2 Acros. So, and they're all big bleeders except for really Abacro, which is more of a brawler, and PT Giga is also more of a brawler. But if they do something really cool with Mappusaurus, I think it could work. Because I love Carcharodontosaurids. If I could, I would have all of them in the game. But at some point, it does start getting repetitive because they all are pretty similar. So, well, Giga and Acro are pretty different. Because Giga's huge, and then Acro's got the hump, sail-like structure on its back. The others all kind of look like either Giga or Carc. But I think if someone were to make it work, probably in mod form, because the devs already added Tyrannotitan, I think Mappu could work. My boy Bipster said, give me Allosaurus, Coelophysis, and Ankylosaurus. All three of these? Yes, all three of these. These would be cool. Alamosaurus was a big old North American titanosaur. It could be good food. It could be like acro food because, well, no, it lived alongside T-Rex, but acros could hunt it. Big carnivores could hunt it. It could even be like a sauropod that T-Rex hunt. If it's made by a mod team that already has a T-Rex like PT, they could do something really cool with that. Coelophysis is just a given. It was one of the first dinosaurs to ever evolve on the planet, and it's also pretty different. It's very lean, it's thin, it's got a long neck, long tail. It kind of looks like the Deltadromeus we have, and it would be similar to that probably, but I think they could give it some cool abilities, like maybe make it nocturnal, or it's maybe, I don't know, maybe it's slightly poisonous or something. I don't know. They could cook with it. Coelophysis would be really cool, and then Ankylosaurus is given. We have Anno, but Anno was actually really small. Pot actually sized up Anno by a lot because it's the mimic Ankylosaurus, but what we need is a true Ankylosaurus. I want Ankylosaurus so much. It'd be such a cool dinosaur. They could make it, they could probably make it to where it's like really good, but not broken like Anno's Hunker, because Anno's just a little shit that's invulnerable. Oh boy, Orca, how many dinos did you just list? Well, Orca's Baw, British man, my buddy, listed a ton of creatures he wants to see in the game. Amphicolius, Celius has already kind of been mentioned. Same with Sauropods, I already covered those two. We already have Pentaceratops, I don't know why he said Pentaceratops. Seats would be cool. As a giant, who knows what it is. I actually don't think they know what it is. It's just some giant theropod. They could cook with it. It would probably end up being a bleeder though, because it's not a Tyrannosaurid, so it wasn't adapted for crushing. They could make it. Whoever does decide to make one could be like, nah, screw it. We're gonna make ours a big theropod that's not a Tyrannosaurid but does fracture. I don't know. It could be cool. Marusraptor, I actually don't know what that is. I've never heard of this animal before. I'm assuming it's a raptor because it's got a raptor in its name. I'll probably throw a picture of it in when I go in to edit this video. But never heard of that animal before. Leads, I'm assuming he's talking about Lead 60s, which I think was going to be made by Alderaan. I think? I honestly don't know. I heard something about Lead 60s coming into the game. I think it was from Alderaan. Kronosaurus. Kronosaurus is actually one of my top 3. I'm gonna spoil it. I love Kronosaurus. It is such a cool animal. Holy. It will be similar to Sashikosaurus, but Kronosaurus I believe was bigger. I think. Or it was around the same size. But they could cook with it. Kronosaurus was a menace when it was around. And honestly, it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, marine reptile. So, also it's got a kick-ass name, Kronosaurus. Like, that sounds cool as shit. And then he also said Styxosaurus, which is, I think it's either a Plesiosaurid or an Elasmosaurine. It's one of the Plesiosaurid type of dinosaurs. I think they could cook with it, either Alderaan or a mod dev, because we only have Kaiwikia, and that thing's kind of ugly. So, yeah, we need more Plesiosaurids. Styxosaurus would be cool, and then Pteranodon or Pterodon. And why did he say Pterodon? I know he means Pteranodon. Honestly, Pteranodon should have already been in the game. Where's Pteranodon, man? Literally the most popular pterosaur, not in the game. Why? It's Pteranodon. I know that Alderaan picks different dinosaurs. They want ones that aren't really popular, but like, you think someone would have made a mod of one by now. He also mentions Perosaurus. Perconodon? Perconodon would be cool. I have barely heard of this thing before. It is a Nodosaurid, I believe. Or an Ankylosaurid. No, I think it's a Nodosaurid. Just like Saltosaurus, not Saltosaurus, Sauropelta. Any Nodosaurid would be cool for that matter. And then he said Saltersaurus, even though we already talked about Saltosaurus. Diplodocus as well. Maiasaura, I feel like would just be too similar to like Lambio or Iggy. Unless they really made it revolve around nesting, because Maiasaura got famous because it was proven to be a really good parent. That's kind of how Maiasaura got famous. They could revolve its gameplay and mechanics around nesting and being with babies. Other than that, I don't really see what someone could do with it. And then Baryonyx, I already talked about Baryonyx. Megalosaurus would be cool. Megalosaurus and Gojirosaurus. They're similar mid-tier theropods. Actually, Megalosaurus might be a sub-apex. That thing was pretty big. Gojirosaurus would probably be... They both would probably be bleeders. I don't know. Gojirosaurus, I feel like if someone did make a mod of that, would give it some sort of ability to mimic Godzilla. Because it is literally named after Godzilla. I just don't know what, though. Like, I don't know. Does it shoot something at you? Like the Dilophosaurus in Jurassic Park 3, like it shoots a ball of poison? Actually, they could make it do that. It could spit at you, and its spit does an effect, and they could make it blue just for the aesthetic. It spits blue spit at you, or I don't know, something. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a really long yap session, though, but hope you guys are enjoying so far. And then my last comment I got, because some of them were duplicates or just didn't list a specific dinosaur. So if you didn't see your comment, it's probably just because you didn't list a specific dinosaur or it was already mentioned. My boy Lazy Bean said Metri and Euoplocephalus. He says Metri because Pot makes it look bad. I mean, it could use a new model. And then the poison mechanics are meh. But I don't ever see people play Metri anyways. I think they should just TLC it. But for Euoplocephalus, that would be cool because Euoplo is another big Ankylosaurid. So if we don't get Ankylosaurus itself in the game, Euoplo could be a good pick for it instead. Because it was also a pretty popular Ankylosaurid. And it was pretty big. Not Ankylosaurus big, but it was still big. Alrighty, so now I'm going to get into my top 3. These are my top 3 creatures I want to see in Pot, either by Alderaan or mod, because I think these things are really cool. So the third one, I'm going to go ahead and say it. The third one has already been mentioned. Kronosaurus. I think it should just be a really cool aquatic. Also, there's just not enough aquatics. I don't see people playing them enough. Kronosaurus would actually get me to play aquatics, because currently in the game, I have no reason to play aquatics on either semi-realism or PvP, because for one, I don't really like aquatic PvP, and two, whenever I'm on Crimson, just all the aquatics just go to GP River or like Young Grove, and it's not fun. I want to be able to like swim around the ocean and encounter someone out there, but you don't get that. You don't get, like, Kronosaurus would make me want to do that. Now for my second one, I want Cryodrakon. 1, the name sounds cool, but 2, a giant, like, cold-resistant Asdarkid pterosaur would be sick. I want this thing to be a specific baby killer, like, better than Quets and Hats. I want its, like when it's around, this is hard to explain, but I want it, like, given an ability or something, when it's around babies, it does more damage. I want it to be the expert baby killer. Because, like, let's be real, there's not really much going on with baby dinos. You just grow up and quest. So something that actively targets, like, babies could be terrifying. Especially since it's a pterosaur. So it's going to fly over you, and your little baby Rex growing up, you're just going to look up and see this thing and be like, oh no. Because, like, Quetzals and Hatsies, they're not as fun as killing babies with. Well, Hatsie is because you can drop them, but Cryodrakon, like, it has specific abilities and attacks for babies, could be cool. And now, for my number 1, I made a video on it because I was really hopeful for it to come to the game. but I was wrong, even though my theory was pretty valid. I want Taurovenator. It is a super cool animal. It does look like Giga and Kark and Titan, but I think they could cook with it. I think it could be somewhat of a fusion between Kark and Acro. The thing was pretty bulky. It wasn't as big as Giga. It was like 5 to 7 tons compared to Giga's 9 to 10. But I think it should be more... Well, since we have two Acros, Acro's more of a brawler, DB's more of a, like, somewhat of a bleeder. I think this thing should be a full brawler Carcharodontosaur. No bleed. I think it should fracture. A Carcharodontosaur that can fracture you is terrifying. Give it some sort of ability, like, I don't know, maybe a charge bite that does fracture, kind of like Rex. Or it, like, just breaks your legs somehow, like, I don't know, a body slam, or maybe it has a call that reduces fracture healing or something. I think, like, a big Carcharodontosaur, something that isn't a Tyrannosaurid, that does fracture, would be cool, because it's more diversity. Because all the fracturing dinos in the game currently are Tyrannosaurids. Well, in terms of theropods, carnivores. But I will keep pushing for Taurovenator to come to Path of Titans. That animal is just really cool. It's not my favorite, because that is reserved for Acrocanthosaurus. Acro is my favorite dinosaur, but Taurovenator is up there. I think it'd be a really cool addition. Same with like Mapusaurus or Amaryraptor, which was a recently discovered one. That one would be cool too, actually. But yes. That is it. That is all I had. That was all the comments I got. I didn't get many. And then I went over my top 3. I hope you guys did enjoy, though. I hope you guys enjoyed this yap session. I wanted to try something different on my channel. But I hope it worked. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of content, because I kind of like it. I kind of like just sitting here and yapping about stuff. I might do these more. If you guys want to see me do more, let me know in the comments. But that's going to wrap up this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you want to join my Discord, it's kind of weird in there, but it's fun. It's fun. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.